Didn't expect this one. Yeah. I love this song, but every time I hear it now, I think of the Shrek movie.
Oh yeah, St. Vincent remixed that. I forgot about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, and we are back streaming.
Woohoo!
Fantastic. I figured it out. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Once again, you can join us on all of those platforms. Let's get into a little bit more of this John Cena tournament. What exactly are you asking of me, my friend? Like just my
Well,
thoughts of the entire
overall,
thing, or
do you? I
I
mean,
mean, me and
is it all full now, right?
yeah, it's full now. I think that we're breaking down the next level or to the semifinals or whatever they want to call it because we're running out of time on it. I like the idea. I loved the entire format of it. I'm a little disappointed that we aren't seeing more of the young faces. I expected to see more NXT talents, not just Javon Evans.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, he did an amazing job against Gunther, and that to me shows how much confidence that they have in the kid that he will be moving up to the main roster very soon, along with a lot of the other ones. But the also just kind of the entire idea of the tournament, at least to me, was supposed to be the next man up gets an opportunity. The guy who wants to be the next John Cena gets that opportunity if they win the tournament. Throwing guys like Jey Uso in there, Gunther in there, although yes, they're all fantastic wrestlers in their own right, but they're already made men. The only guys that I saw in this tournament that really benefited from a win were LA Knight, which still I think is my favorite right now to win the whole shebang. I think that would be an amazing final match for him. Sheamus now, because I'm starting to believe that because obviously Sheamus coming down and helping him in this last Monday Night Raw. Usually that is the WWE showing you a little bit of, hey, this is probably the guy we're going to see take on John at the end of it all because he's helping him. And obviously he's going to be a part of this for the Intercontinental title. So it's starting to map up a little bit to me, at least, that Sheamus has a good shot to win the whole thing. But that also kind of takes away from the entire idea that at least I had, which was, again, young kid who's going to be the next guy to come up and take this opportunity to be a superstar on the main roster. And really, they just gave it to one kid and swiftly let him go back down to NXT. So, in some ways, it's been disappointing. In some ways, I've loved it. And I said yesterday, or no, I'm sorry, 2 days ago, before we brought in our guy KG, when I was trying to troubleshoot that situation as well, I like that the WWE is going into this tournament style idea. I know a lot of people on the internet give Tony Khan a lot of grief for his immense amount of tournaments for these championships that really don't matter anymore. And I get it. I do, because a lot of it is just randomly throwing 8 wrestlers against each other for the sake of throwing them against each other. But the WWE has now done it twice in a way that's a little bit different. There's more substance to it. There's more meaning. Every match has a story. There's not just, one guy getting thrown out there from the mid card against a main carder, and the main carder dominates the match and moves on just because he's the main carder. So I think the WWE has found a way to do this in a tasteful way that we will see more and more going forward. But there have been a little bit of, gripes from my end as well. But it's mostly just because I don't want to see guys like Jey Uso, Gunther, or Sheamus walk away with the final match against John Cena. I'd rather see somebody like Javon Evans, shoot, even Joe Hendry, even though I didn't want to see that. I would rather see that. You know what I mean? I want to see someone like Trick Williams. I want to see somebody that hasn't gotten that shot yet to step up and say, no, I get John. I've never gotten John once.
So the 3 you had mentioned, and the other 3 that I would kind of be like, okay, maybe, is Bronson Reed,
Yeah.
Rusev,
Yeah.
and then the one I've been saying is Solo. But now it looks like they're going to line up Solo against either Bronson and him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, somehow I would love to see him pull that out. And
Carmelo.
and have
Carmelo,
a match.
you know what? That's a good point.
That would be
Carmelo
kinda
would be
cool.
a great one because Carmelo winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal a couple months ago hasn't really gotten that chance to be a singles wrestler since then. He's been paired with The Miz a lot. And you're right. He's one of those guys that would desperately need a rocket strapped to his behind, as Triple H likes to say, to head straight to the moon. And you're right. Maybe that's the best choice. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, would probably be Carmelo Hayes
Well,
if
the
we
other
had
one
any
is,
young
what
guys.
about Finn?
I would like to see Finn Balor go and win and progress into this tournament, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I've seen like Cena and CM Punk throw out love for JD and Finn, and I was like, well, maybe they find a way to put him in with Cena.
I would love to see it, but they've dangled this singles run for Finn in front of our face for years. I mean, and I don't even know if it's real or if they're just Finn's sitting there saying, no, I want to keep working with JD for a little bit.
Which they're awesome.
I like what we're doing together. I agree, they're awesome. But Finn Balor as a singles wrestler is so good.
Yeah, I think JD would be awesome too.
I think you're right. But again, I don't know. I think it's going to happen later on down the line. I just don't think this John Cena tournament is exactly what will work out for him to get him back into the singles era, especially since he just had a 6-man tag against John. So,
and it would probably just lean up where Judgment Day interrupts and screws off the whole final match.
Exactly. And that's why, that's partially why I didn't want it to be Dom. You know what I mean? Because with Dom Mysterio, there's always that level of cheating and, the backstabby nature of it all.
And I should have known.
I don't want that.
I should have known that it was going to be him and Dom in War Games. As soon as I found out it was in San Diego, I was like, dude, it was written all over the wall.
See, but I was also somewhat hoping they were going to do the Ray and Dom match, and we get that out of the way. We get the retirement match for Ray at the same time. You know what I mean? Although it would have came very out of nowhere for a lot of people. I think it's about that time. I mean, we're talking about, I have a list of wrestlers that are in the WWE right now. They're in their 40s, turning 50s. And I'm like, bud, I loved watching you as a kid, but there's a lot of kids half your age that can do the job too. I need you to start realizing that maybe it's time to start handing the torch over, because some of these guys, I'm tired of seeing you. I'm sorry.
Maybe Mysterio turns on him and helps out Dom get his title back, and then he could say, bye, Ray.
That would be interesting. I don't know. I maybe that would pop up, but I think Dom most likely cheats his way into a win here in San Diego, gets the belt back,
get his title back, and then they can move on with Cena's final match. And
although I would really love to see that belt be essentially the torch that's being handed over from John to whomever beats him in that final match, because that's what's going to happen. John's going to lose the final match. That's always how you go out. In your retirement match, the retiree always goes out on their back. I would love for John to be the exception. It's not going to happen, though. It's just not. That's not how the wrestling world works. And John, like we said earlier, being such a, he respects the game so much, there's no way he's going to see that he can be the exception. He's just not.
And my final thing was, you said it, the ending of Raw was
bone chilling.
Was awesome. We got the tribal chief back.
I know you haven't necessarily seen all of what's happened between Roman and Brock yet, and I highly recommend you dive into that next, because it's a fantastic lineup of matches, including one of the most viral moments in the WWE, where Brock, on top of a bulldozer, introduces himself, throws the mic at Roman, and Roman, without flinching, catches it one-handed and winks at him. It is the greatest moment, in my opinion, between the two of them. But
is that when the ring got picked up?
That's their last man standing match, where he uses the bulldozer to, or it's not really a bulldozer. Don't hurt me. I'm not a guy that goes into construction. I'm not that kind of, I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. Giant mechanical thing that shouldn't be next to a ring at all gets used to lift said ring and break it.
I've seen that clip 50 times and I never knew.
I thought it was funny, again, watching this on Monday with our guy KG before the show. We're both sitting there enjoying this face off between the initial four, the Vision, and with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul against CM Punk's crew. And then you hear the Brock Lesnar theme, and he comes down and manhandles CM Punk. Then you get the, oh, here comes Cody. Oh yeah, that's right. Last time these two were in a ring together, it was the whole trifecta matches. The two of them were like badass against each other. Brock just laughed it off and said, I'm done with you, you little peon. F5. He's looking badass. They're just about to end the show. And here comes the guy everybody's actually been waiting
They were
for.
chanting him for 5 minutes before that.
Dude, I'm telling you, Roman Reigns has reached a level that only his cousin, The Rock, has reached. He is everybody's face, even when he's a bad guy. I don't know how to explain it. He's lovable even when he's the a-hole. And it's just the movie theater like, persona and the looks. This dude's untouchable.
That stupid super punch, Superman punch,
I
whatever.
was hoping for the spear. I was like,
so
dude, if you're
silly,
gonna do
dude.
that, go for the
I'm
spear.
like, really, man? The super punch?
Yeah, but again,
But Brock has won me over as well. So I'm like, all right, let's get this
just
over
wait.
with.
Again, go through their string of matches if you can. And I highly recommend anybody listening to the show right now, if you're not a WWE watcher, or if you're somebody trying to catch up for all of this and you're somebody like Sparky who's been gone for a while, definitely go on Peacock. I'm sure they'll have a playlist. But Brock v. Roman, it's one of the best rivalries the WWE has ever had. It really is. Let's take a break real quick. We got a lot of other stuff to talk about before we get Ryan Holt in here of the Condors and our guy Bolt Brady on the other side as well from the Believe Network. He's going to help you and me make some money, because if you don't think I'm going to get his thoughts before I head to Vegas this weekend, you are absolutely crazy. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield. He's all over the place today. Not complaining at all.
It's AI.
Oh, is it AI? I'm just realizing what this is. I love this song. Oh, Ice Cube AI for your morning.
And the picture that they use with Ice Cube with long soul jazz type hair, it is hilarious. But we did get your text. We'll get into those real quick. The line of questions starting with Brees Hall at Baltimore, Darnell Mooney at New Orleans, or Judkins at Las Vegas.
I'm assuming this is for your flex position. Is a good question to have. If you have to choose between Mooney and the receiver, or I'm sorry, Mooney and the running backs, I would always choose the running backs, but that's because there's more opportunity for them to get more points. So if that is the case,
The Brees or Judkins?
probably Judkins. I think Judkins is going to have a better game. Brees is going against the Baltimore defense, which has really refound itself and are just clicking on all cylinders. So I think it's going to be a rough game for the Jets, even with Tyrod at quarterback.
Then we get Seattle's defense at Tennessee or the Ravens against the Jets.
Ravens against the Jets. At this point, you should always pick the team that's going against
The Jets.
the worst team. Yeah, which is the Jets.
Is it the Jets or yeah? I guess Tennessee has shown some type of.
Oh, you know what? No, you're absolutely correct. Tennessee would be the worst team. I forget Tennessee's actually at the bottom of the
So
league.
bad.
Well, we never talk about them. No one ever talks about
No
them.
one.
So it's like usually when they're bad, you even hear that in the news. Like, oh God, they are so awful. But we don't even hear that from Tennessee. That should tell you something. So no, maybe you're absolutely right. Go with the. I take back what I
Seahawks?
said. Go with the Seahawks.
Montgomery against the Giants. Wilson. Oh, the Packers backup against Minnesota, or Kareem Hunt against the Colts.
I'm gonna let you pick that one since you did have Wilson on your short list.
Yeah,
Of
I picked up
waivers.
Wilson. I'm still waiting because the LaFleur came out and said he's not ready to roll him out. So I would keep an eye on that one. Kareem Hunt. I mean, he's usually due for a goal line touchdown and against a Colts defense, I would say. But I mean, Montgomery's been so hot and cold because they have two, Sonic and Knuckles. Man, and the Giants.
Well, and
I like the Giants defense.
With the Lions, you also have to take into account that, yes, they have a two-back system, but they no longer have Ben Johnson, who went out of his way to really figure out which running back was doing well that week.
And it's been more Gibbs.
It really has. And so they've been just riding the hot hand. So Montgomery being on a starting lineup right now is skeptical to me as well.
Yeah. I would probably lean towards Hunt and keep an eye on seeing if Jacobs is going to play. Because if Jacobs doesn't play, then I would expect Wilson to get, the majority. The other one is Joe Mixon not going to play this season.
Nope. Drop
Wasted a damn pick on that bum.
Drop him. You and me both. Don't even get me started. I drafted him in I think 2 or 3 leagues. I've dropped him in each and every one. At first, this was supposed to, and Brandon Ayuk is in the same boat. At first, this was supposed to be a 6 to 8 week thing. And then Houston's GM came out and said that they wouldn't have an answer on Joe Mixon at least until after the bye week. And that was months ago.
And the Niners continue to say we expect Ayuk to play.
Yeah.
Which I don't have the time. We've got 3 weeks left in most fantasy seasons until the playoffs start. So,
and even if he did play, would he be a game changer for you, especially being out for so long?
And by the time he plays, even if he played next week, you only have him for 2 weeks, and
exactly.
you're gonna, it's gonna take a while for him to get used.
It's not worth the roster spot unless you're in a league that allows you to have an IR and then go ahead and hang on to him if you have a spot there for you. But if he's wasting a roster spot for you, drop him. Get rid of him already.
The last one, which you can always call or text in your questions or comments to 842-2000. But this one says the question is for Burdick. With Penix's injury history and really only winning 5 out of 12 starts over the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
We know how you feel about Cousins. Say you're the GM in Atlanta. What are you doing this offseason at quarterback?
Ooh, this is a great question. Okay, so first and foremost, yes, as you said, we all know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. Ditch him and the contract. Get out of Atlanta. I don't care. But in my personal opinion, you don't go and draft a quarterback. I think you draft some linemen, help out a little bit in protecting Michael Penix, especially since we're going to have to deal with Jake Matthews retiring here very, very soon. So I think we need to find our Will Campbell, if you will, and solidify the offensive line for the foreseeable future and help guys like Bijan Robinson, keep guys like Tyler Algier, because that guy you should not move away from whatsoever. Keep the tandem and maybe go find one of these backup quarterbacks that need a new home, that need new life. So I would focus on maybe a Mac Jones, somebody of that nature, just in case Penix's injury history ends up dragging on into the next season. I still believe Michael Penix is the starter for the future and is the guy for the Falcons for the foreseeable future. But I cannot deny 3 knee injuries, serious knee injuries going back to his college career. This is something to really worry about. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to reach out to somebody that needs a new home, that maybe even Justin Fields, because I don't think Justin Fields will be with the Jets after this year. I really don't. I think they'll move on from him. So maybe Justin decides to double back and actually resign or sign a contract with the Falcons like he was planning on a couple months ago. And maybe we see him, back up Michael Penix for a couple months to a season or two and see what happens there. But I think that's probably the most logical answer, especially with the way the NFL has gone. You got to find a suitable backup because Kirk Cousins ain't it. And we're paying way too much money for the guy. And that $100 million you're paying him could easily be distributed to a lot of other young talents that deserve that money, Tyler Algier being one of them. So hopefully that is the direction in which the Atlanta Falcons go. But I'm just a lowly peon out here in Bakersfield. So hopefully somebody from Atlanta is listening and will actually take that to heart. And then real quick, we had a comment on the Facebook feed as well. Jeremy says that Gunther versus Cena will be a fantastic retirement match. I love you, Jeremy, but you really want to see Gunther retire
I love
John
Gunther.
and Goldberg in the same year?
I mean, I would
I
take
don't know if I want to
Gunther
see it.
over Sheamus.
Fair, but at this point, again, it needs to be one of the young guys, in my opinion.
I like Solo, man.
Solo would be great. I would love for them to close the chapter on that book. And that would catapult Solo to a main eventer again. It really would. But I don't know. There's a lot of questions around this tournament. We'll see what happens here in the next upcoming weeks. You'll have me and KG breaking down a lot of it next week as well, as Sparky takes a much deserved week off for the Thanksgiving holiday. We got to take a break real quick. On the other side, we'll be talking to Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors as they have Princess Night going on this weekend, keeping this home undefeated stand going. This is the Early Bird Special. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Early Bird Special Hour 2 here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, and we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can find us on all social media platforms, including Instagram and TikTok as well. Just search the Early Bird Special. You'll see our little logo there. Just like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll know every single time we go live. We talked to some of our fantastic guests as we have today. Starting off the day, obviously, we got to talk Bakersfield Condors and their fantastic home undefeated streak currently going right now. And if you are not out there supporting the Condors, what the heck are you doing on the weekends? Come on now. You're missing out on some fantastic AHL hockey. And to talk all about it, we are joined by our friend Ryan Holt of the Bakersfield Condors. Sir, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Oh, can't complain, man. We got Princess Night coming up this weekend, I understand.
Princess Night. We just roll right in. We had New Jersey giveaway on Saturday, and then Princess Night coming up Saturday against Ontario. So a lot going on with Elsa and Snow White and Belle in the house. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, fantastic. We'll get all the Disney princesses and whatnot. Is this coming with like a pink jersey and whatnot as well? Or is it...
We can't do a jersey every night, unfortunately, but we have a pregame princess party pack where you can meet the princesses, have a pizza party, and make crowns as well too. So we're trying to hit everybody here.
Shoot, you just made Sparky's weekend.
What? Pizza party with the princesses?
How do people get a hold of that?
It's right on condorstown.com. $90 gets you 2 tickets to the game, the pregame party, and you get to make the crowns and hang out with the princesses before they, go on the concourse for everybody. Kind of an exclusive little deal.
$90, that is cheap considering how pizza prices are these days. That is a great deal.
I could spend $90 at Rusty's by myself.
Little Caesars, they're great partners of ours and always hook us up.
Nice, very cool. And then obviously the Condors still killing it at home, undefeated, continuing to just dominate everybody in the Pacific Division at home. Talked about that and how good this team looks, at least when we're at the Dignity Health Arena.
Yeah, we're fun. There's no doubt about it. We're high octane offense. We're very skilled. Anybody who was here over the weekend on Saturday, we mixed in a few fights as well too. So that was always entertaining for the crowd. But I think it's a young team that they kind of don't know what they don't know, and they're just kind of going through it all together and enjoying it. Experiencing. We talked about the road trip a couple of weeks ago, and that was I think the results weren't there for the team, but I think it was beneficial to have that early in the year for the young group and to kind of go through the grind of what an AHL season's like. And yes, it's a nice life, and yes, it's the second best league in the world, but this is hard. It's not easy. The amount of talent narrows, and I think the young guys are starting to figure it out. They're enjoying playing at home. We've had obviously terrific crowds here over the last our whole existence, but especially here over the first couple of weeks of the season. We're seeing some big crowds even early in the year, which is usually a tougher sell for us just with everything going on sports wise, early on in the year. So, great to see, all facets of the game kind of clicking right now. And yeah, it's a fun team to watch. And anybody who's watched this year, I mean, it's they're entertaining as anything. So it's definitely fun to be around.
Out of curiosity, I've gone to every Condor game I can, but it has felt a little different since we lost the dancing granny. Are we still honoring her with her seat and stuff this year?
Yeah. So she has her seat, and then we gifted the old seat because we took them out last year or 2 years ago now. So we replaced all the seats in the arena. So we actually gifted the family a plaque with the seats as well too. So the actual seat,
nice.
she would have sat in, and then anytime we have the dance cam kind of in the third period, there's a kind of, I don't want to say it's a Harry Carey-esque, tribute in terms of, Dancing Granny popping up on the board. And then obviously, people live in the arena dancing as well too.
See, that's awesome. That's my challenge to everybody this weekend. Go out to Princess Night and become the next Dancing Granny. Go show everybody your dance moves, show everybody what you can do. It's just different when we have that just energetic crowd out there at Dignity Health Arena. And obviously the team is feeding off of it. I love hearing that we're fighting. I mean, I'm a very trivial hockey fan that way. I personally think if you see fighting, that means they're getting gritty. They want to win this game, and they'll do anything they have to get an edge. And I love that. I love hearing the young kids are
talked
taking
about
that
Connor
mentality.
Clattenburg. Yeah, we talked about Connor Clattenburg a bit before. He's kind of a, Colin Chalk calls him a throwback, right? He calls him a dinosaur just because his style is becoming extinct, right?
Yeah, he's the brute. He's the goon, man.
But I think there's more to him and more to this game now, than just dropping the gloves. And I think anybody who was at the game on Saturday, he ended up fighting 3 times, but none were as a result of him searching for it. One was after a Condors goal, and Coachella Valley's captain challenged him. And, if you can take out the captain, or if you can, take him off the ice, I mean, that's a benefit, and Clattenburg's thinking about it and saying, oh, okay, yeah, that's a benefit for us. But Absolutely. He only gets in that position because he's hitting everything that moves. He's skating hard. He's playing physical. He's playing within the whistles. He's just a physical hockey player. And this day and age, that can aggravate a team. And it aggravated Coachella Valley on Saturday night. It was the reason why I gave him first star for not having a point in the game, because I think he was that impactful, just asserting himself, opening up space for his teammates. And again, all within the rules. It wasn't like he's running around, whacking a stick at everybody. Like, he's just hitting people and hitting through the body and playing hard, each and every shift. And that's, a great teammate first and foremost. The guys love him. And yeah, he's got a little Morgan Wallen-esque, kind of flair to him. He's got the mullet. He's got the mustache.
Love that.
He's, tattoos up and down his arms. He fits right in to Bakersfield. So it's been great to see him kind of become a popular name here early on.
See, I'm a big Shoresy fan, Holty. So what you're explaining to me is he's less of a Shoresy and more of a Jim, right?
Exactly. And you have to be, right. Like, this day and age, the stage fights are over, right? But you have physical players. Think of, the Oilers lost last night to the Washington Capitals. Tom Wilson scored twice. Tom Wilson's a 30-goal scorer in the NHL. He also has 100 penalty minutes, and he also fights. But he has to be able to play the game, because this day and age, especially with salary caps and especially with roster spots, every position is so valuable.
Yeah.
So you can't just devote a spot to a guy who can't skate, can't play, can't do anything. So Clattenburg, yes, there's offensive sides of his game that need to improve at the next level, but he has tangible skills right now, killing penalties. His physical play, his skating is good. He has physical tools that can get him to the next level without having to be a McDavid type, if you will.
Well, I was looking at the schedule, and I see that, we're going to be out in Ontario playing the Reign Friday, and then turning around and driving back and playing again on Saturday. What my question is, how difficult is that with the quick turnarounds? I know it's happening for both teams, but no one cares about Ontario. I'm worried about the Condors. I mean, how big is these, quick turnarounds, back-to-back games like this?
Yeah, I will say it's easier to start on the road and then come home in terms of these home and homes, just because, we'll leave today, we'll get down to the hotel tonight. We'll have a day to kind of, get settled and stuff. And then we get on the bus after the game tomorrow night. And usually, and what people don't understand sometimes is the adrenaline for players, they can't get to sleep until, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning anyways. Even after a home game, right? These guys, are playing until 10 o'clock at night. They get a meal in them. Like, they're wired. They're still going at 1 o'clock in the morning. They don't just all of a sudden get back to the hotel and, shut it down right away. So, so it is a little bit of a grind. We're fortunate. We have a terrific bus partner with TCS, and we kind of have a bus which has basically, 34 reclining lazy boys, and, they're all, padded and have all the bells and whistles you could possibly have on a bus. So we're fortunate in that regard. And Ontario's not that bad of a trip coming home. It's probably 2.5 hours coming back. So that's not bad. The San Diegos, the San Jose's, those back-to-backs get a little more grueling. But, the guys on Saturday won't have anything in the morning. They'll just come in for the game. Saturday night, they might, go out to eat breakfast and stuff with their families or something in the morning, but they'll just come ready to go for the game on Saturday.
Right on. And just looking at the ice, how is Ontario looking right? So far this season.
Yeah, we haven't seen them yet, so this will be our first crack at Ontario. And then, yeah, they've historically been good, and the Kings are one of those teams that feels like they're in the mix right in the Pacific. And when you have that, you need guys at all levels performing, and they've had that early on. So they have really good goaltending. They're sound defensively. It's going to be difficult matchups this weekend, but it's another good litmus test for a young team, right? This is an Ontario team that's a little big. They're a little heavy. Yes, we have the Clattenburgs and the Joneses of the world, but for the most part, we're kind of skilled and kind of shy away from the physicality side of the game. So we'll see how that kind of translates. Kind of two different styles, right? We're high octane and looking to get going and score a lot of goals and have a lot of fun doing it. And Ontario's kind of the opposite, right? The Kings like to shut things down. The Reign are the same way. They play the same system. So it's always tough going to Ontario. That building's tough to play in. So hopefully get a win on Friday night, and then put our unbeaten record at home back on the line on Saturday.
It's going to be a fantastic game this weekend. But before we let you go, we have to talk about the highlight of every Condor season, which will be next weekend. That's the teddy bear toss.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll be coming onto our sister station on Kern Radio to talk about that as well. But talk about the teddy bear toss next weekend and how much you guys can give back to the community just by people bringing in a teddy bear and throwing it on the ice.
Yeah, we gave into the trend. The players actually wanted to do it, and so we gave into the trend on our. It'll be up on our social medias here in the coming days, but it'll start in our TV ad. But they, we've always said bring 2 new stuffed animals to the game and throw them on the ice. But the players said, why don't we bring 6, 7 teddy bears and throw them on the ice? So that'll be in the TV spot coming up.
Nice.
So they had some fun with it. So it's our biggest night of the year. It's the best night for the community. It touches all facets of our business, from a business standpoint, from corporate involvement to season ticket holders, to casual fans, to community partners, to civic leaders, media partners, with you guys as well. And it's an event that everyone has circled on their calendar. It feels less like a hockey game and more like an event as opposed to a hockey game. And all the bears get collected and donated to the United Way, and those bears go to over 60 organizations here in Bakersfield, Tehachapi, Taft, down to the Grapevine, Delano, Shafter, Wasco, all different shelters and boys and girls clubs and police, fire, ambulance units. All of these bears go to a good home, not only during the holidays, but times of crisis, times of need throughout the years, hospitals as well too. So we're happy to do it. We always say we're just a vehicle for for all the fun, and this truly is just the vehicle for all the fun because we don't buy any bears, we don't supply any bears for people. It's all organic. It comes from the community. People spend all year buying bears and throwing them on the ice and getting ready for November. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a packed house. Limited seats remain. Great seats still remain, but limited seats remain. So condorstown.com, you can get them now. And we've got a 3-pack coming out on Friday for a flash sale to get you into the really good seats here that we have left.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, sir, for your time. If we do not talk to you next week, have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and we will talk to you after Teddy Bear Toss.
You guys as well. Happy Thanksgiving, and take care, guys.
Thanks, brother. We got to take a break real quick. On the other side, we'll give you our picks of the week in the NFL before we call in our guy, Brady from the Believe Network to give his picks of the week. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Our stream is up with audio, I promise, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And our text line, I got to throw this out before we get into our football picks. It says, my sister and I go every year, and this year we're sitting behind the Condors bench. We've got 10 Bears to throw out this year. And another one says, we'll be out there, go Condors. And my favorite segment of Early Bird is when you guys bring in Holt. Great job, guys.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we try to talk to Holt as much as humanly possible. We also love the Condors around here. Grew up watching them my entire life, and we'll continue to watch them until the day I either leave this town or die. So either way works. But at this point, I am excited just to see this young team. I love hearing that we're fighting again. And again, for those of you who are like, "Oh, that's the old hockey," I get it. Don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, when you're willing to put your fists on the line in a game of hockey, that just shows me you're willing to do anything it takes to get an edge on your opponent and win that game. So I'm all for it. Plus, who here listening to my voice doesn't love a hockey fight?
A little fisticuffs.
Come on. It's
the
the
best part.
most honorable fight in sports. Every other sport, you can't do it. But this one, you can.
We'll go into our football picks, starting with tonight's game, which you can hear right here on ESPN Bakersfield with the pregame starting at 4:30. We've got Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. And like I said earlier, I'm going to go on the line. I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm taking Buffalo in this game. I do believe in Josh Allen, and I understand why everybody would choose to Houston, but I do believe Buffalo tries to figure this out and make at least a push for the AFC.
Going into Sunday's game, which we're hearing Aaron Rodgers is questionable to play this week, but they're going into a hot Chicago, Pittsburgh at the Bears.
I'm taking the Bears here. I think Ben Johnson has this offense finally clicking, and I don't think they're even at full potential yet. I think they're just starting. And to be honest, I know Mason Rudolph looked good last week when he came in. I don't expect that to be the case week by week, though. So I would expect the Bears defense to feast.
I am going with the AFC Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Rodgers pulls it out. I think he plays. I think it'll be a tight game, and I think Pittsburgh's defense will show up. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
Watching Caleb take on TJ Watt is going to be interesting. He's able to get out of a lot of sacks, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get away from that guy.
New England at the Cincinnati Bengals, which there is some type of word that Burrow is questionable to play.
Still don't think he plays. I think we may see him next week in Thanksgiving, but it actually may matter, or it may all come down to if they win this game, because if they don't, they could just punt on the entire season and tell Joe, you're going to hang it up and we'll talk to you next year. I am going to take the Patriots in this game.
I will as well. I think Patriots are playing some good football. I think we get the Giants at Detroit.
We said it to our guy Chris yesterday. I love the Giants and the trajectory they're headed, but unless Jackson Dart is 100% and playing, I don't expect them to make a lot of splashes, I should say.
I'm going with Detroit as well. Minnesota at Green Bay.
I don't believe in Green Bay. I'm taking Minnesota in this game. I genuinely believe that J.J. McCarthy, if he can play against one group of teams well, it is the NFC North. That is what we have seen overall. So I'm going to believe he can do it again. And I said it earlier in the week, I don't believe in this Packers team. They're really starting to scare me.
I can see both sides of it. Green Bay, it's a hit and miss type team. And if Josh Jacobs doesn't play, that might hurt Green Bay. But I'm going to go with the Packers just because they're at home. And I think Jordan Love bounces back and has a great game. Seattle at Tennessee.
Tennessee is the worst football team in the NFL, and I totally forget about them every single time, and that's how bad they are.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle. We get the Colts back from a bye week in Kansas City.
Okay, this morning I took the Chiefs, and I'm also going to take the Chiefs here. But I don't think that this game is going to be like one of those where the Chiefs blow out the Colts and everybody's talking on Monday, is Daniel Jones really Daniel Jones? I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is going to be a fantastic football game, but the Chiefs find a way, with the Zebras' help, to find a way to pull this off.
I think that's the main point, is if the Zebras are going to play it down. I'm going to bounce it. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think coming off a bye week and the Chiefs just so hit and miss, and 5-5 now.
Yeah.
I think this one knocks them out of the playoffs this week. I'm going with the Colts. And then we have the newly started New York Jets with a new quarterback in Baltimore. And yeah, I know Lamar's questionable, but I believe he'll play.
Yeah, no, John Harbaugh has already come out. It's pretty much the same situation as last week, just a different injury. He will most likely play, and the Jets will lose this game. I am sorry.
I'm going Baltimore, but I think it'll be a lot closer because the Jets will actually be able to pass the ball.
Yeah, that's absolutely
I don't know
fair.
if it'll be well to the right team.
Well, and Garrett Wilson's still not playing, though, so it's definitely not going to be the right player.
Yeah, and we get the Cleveland Browns at the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm taking Cleveland and Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur comes out, slings it, and honestly, everybody's going to be looking at Kevin Stefanski and saying, so you don't like this guy, huh? But then again, that could be a massive gamble on my point. So who knows?
Man,
I'll be out in Vegas.
This one is so tough.
And hopefully I'll actually be at that game. We'll be able to get you guys some backstage looks at all this. And if I can, I'm going to do what Sparky did, and I'm going over to the Cleveland Browns, because if you don't think I got questions for Shedeur, I don't care about Kevin. Kevin, go away. But Shedeur, I got a lot of questions for you, Big Hoss.
I think it's going to be a Judkins type game, and I think if the Raiders, man, I'm so lost with the Raiders, but I'm going to take the Raiders just for an upset. I think Max Crosby gets 3 or 4 sacks, and you have to understand Shedeur. This is his first week with first team reps, so I'm not expecting too much of Shedeur. I think it's going to be more of Judkins against Genty.
Yeah.
And I think Max against Miles. So I'm going to go with the home team. I'm not sold on it, but I'm going to go with the Raiders just to switch it up. We get the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Jacoby Brissett-led Arizona Cardinals.
I like the Cardinals in this game, and there's a big reason for this. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won every game where they've been able to make the opposing offense throw interceptions or just make miscues with turnovers. You're not going to get that against the Cardinals. Jacoby is a smart quarterback that's a game manager, and that is the worst nightmare for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars. What I saw with Jacksonville last week, I think the defense is so hit and miss, but I really like what they're putting together, and I think they could still fight for a playoff spot. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I just don't trust Jacoby. Then we get one of the game of the weeks, I would say, Philadelphia at Dallas.
Yeah, Philly at Dallas is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm actually going to take Dallas. If you look at the Dallas offense, they are actually clicking really, really well right now. I think Quinnen Williams, now having a couple weeks under his belt with the team, is going to start making more plays for the defense, and we've seen nothing from Philadelphia that has been able to say that they are even playing anywhere close to their potential right now. This game screams upset city to me. I'm going Dallas.
Dallas is indeed playing hot. I'm going to go with Philly just because Jalen finds a way to win these games. And I think Philly, knowing they're all in the drama every week in ESPN, but I still think they pull out a win. Atlanta at New Orleans.
I'm taking Atlanta only because I will not ever choose the Aints for anything. But if you think I have confidence that Kirk Cousins can beat the Aints, I'm sorry, I don't. I have no faith. I have none whatsoever. Although I hope he and Mooney can at least show us flashes of what they did last season, and that'll keep us in somewhat fighting shape against this team.
I'm going with Atlanta just because it is the Saints. Sunday night, we get Tampa at the LA Rams. I'm going with the Rams just because I picked Tampa last week and it blew up in my face.
I'm going to take the Rams as well. They play really well against teams like this, and they're just too banged up in Tampa. Not having Chris Godwin, not having Mike Evans, it really does show, and Baker can't do it all himself. So I'm going to go with the Rams on this one.
And then a Monday night barn burner with the Carolina Panthers at the San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers, and I swear if I pick you, Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, and you lose this game against the Kitties, I'm going to be – no, I have to be calm. I have to be sane about this. It's going to be the 49ers. They're going to pull through, and Christian McCaffrey hopefully runs for about 500 yards in his former team.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think Carolina pulls this out in a close game. I think the Panthers are a better team than most people give it to. So I'm going to go Carolina with the upset on Monday night, but we'll take our break and we'll hear from the professional. We'll talk to Brady and get you some money over the weekend right before Burdick can actually make an official legal bet. So we'll talk to Bolt Brady right after this.
Welcome back. Early bird special right here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 12:30 AM. Well, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch every single day from 7 to 9. And it's time to talk to our guy, Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro to get his picks of the week. First and foremost, my friend, I have to apologize to you. I totally forgot to send you your segment last week. I didn't even realize it till I was sitting at home on Saturday watching college football. And yeah, it was well too late after that. So I do apologize profusely.
All good, my friend. All good. I heard you're going to Las Vegas.
I am. I'm headed right after this show. I'll be grabbing a car full of people, and we're all heading down to Las Vegas. They're going for the F1 races. I'm going just to go. I couldn't care less about the F1 stuff, to be honest with you. I really couldn't. I'm not a car race guy like that. So it is what it is. But I do need some big picks from you so I can make some money, though. If these people don't want to listen to you, I sure as heck will. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, let's try to pay for the trip, huh?
No kidding.
Well, tonight, Thursday night, don't let the name scare you. I love Josh Allen, but Curtis Samuel, McCole Hartman, and Dalton Kincaid are all hurt. I'm going to be taking Texas in the 6 points.
Me too. Finally, somebody.
And then Saturday, looking at the college, we got a couple big games, but I do like Missouri getting the points, the 7.5 points against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, great game last week with Alabama, but there might be a little flat spot there, so I like Missouri plus the points.
Mm-hmm.
And then BYU goes into Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's a super hard place to play. BYU's not nearly as good on the road. I like Cincinnati plus the 2.5 there. And then lastly, Sunday, the NFL. I'm going to have to go against you guys here a little bit. I heard that you're going to be taking Shedeur. I think Shedeur is going to struggle in his first full game as a starter. So I like Vegas there minus the 4. And then the Patriots are a really good team, but they're not good enough to be laying 7 points on the road. And so lastly, I like the Bengals plus 7 there.
Even against the Bengals, you don't think? I mean, their defense has to be pretty dang skeptical.
Well, it is. It for sure is. But when you go on the road, it's just way different. You know, Drake is still a new quarterback. And
true.
Actually go and get, beat a team by that many points on the road, that's difficult.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. This guy's clicking on all cylinders right now. How do you feel about Vegas and his odds at the MVP right now?
Oh, I mean, he's doing great, but I think, as the season wears on, the cream of the crop is going to rise as usual. The big names, the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I don't know. I like what I see. I think Vrabel's got this team going. I will agree with you. It's hard on the road, but it's against a team that I have little faith in, to be honest. And I have to ask, my Trojans have a fantastic opportunity in front of their faces, although it's against a gosh dang giant in Oregon. Do we have a shot in hell?
I think so. I mean, I'm excited to see this game because both teams have beaten who they're supposed to, except USC early in the season with Illinois. But, they lose to the Indianas and the Notre Dames. So now let's see what happens when they play each other.
Right. I'm praying, Bolt. I'm praying they find a way to pull this off through the offense and we sneak into this college football playoff.
It'd be a huge win for the program.
It really would. It really would. Although we'd probably have to find Notre Dame somewhere along the lines in that playoff, and we all know how that's going to end. Good Lord. But do we got any text messages for Bolt? We do,
and I did take the Raiders. I don't think, this is the first time Shedeur's getting snaps at practice.
True.
But, I mean, I went to the Raider game last week. I was out in Vegas, and I was looking forward to a game, or at least a closer game. And the highlight of the whole evening was Nelly at halftime. So I was like, what the hell? But no, I think the Raiders, just with Max Crosby, I think it's going to be more of Judkins against Genty if Pete Carroll will give him the damn ball. But
no kidding.
Our questions are the guy's looking at a 3-game parlay and wants to know what you think of the Philly Dallas game, Tampa at Carolina game, and if you should take Carolina in the 7 points on Monday night against the Niners.
Well, so here's the thing about parlays. First of all, it's hard enough to win one game, much less 3, right? So always go in there with caution and don't throw too much on it. But I like Dallas. Dak does very well at home against the NFC East historically. And then the other one was the Niners and Carolina. I think the Niners are actually going to come to ball there, national television. And then what was the last game?
Tampa at the Rams.
Whew, that's a lot of points. I would take
Mhm.
the points there, the 6.5 with Baker. I could see them coming through the back door.
Really? I mean, this is a homecoming technically for Baker too, because that is the team that really revived his career. Do you think this is one of those games where he just takes over?
Yeah, I mean, 6.5 points for Baker is a lot. And like you said, I remember that game when he literally
Yep.
was flying to LA and learned the offense
On the plane.
Yeah, and then came out. Did he beat the Raiders? Was it the Raiders they played?
I can't remember who they were playing, but it was a big win for them. I know they desperately needed him to step up because I can't remember who had gotten hurt. I think it was Garoppolo at the time,
Yeah,
but it it,
and
it was
so yeah, I'm sure he's got great memories there. Baker's just one of those guys now that I don't know if you want to go against him. Not saying that they're going to win the game, but 6.5 points is a lot in the NFL.
Right.
that's absolutely fair.
And I'm happy because I'm taking the next week off. My Dolphins are on a winning streak, and we can't lose or win this week, so I'm happy.
And you got John Gruden preaching that you guys might actually make
Dude,
the playoffs down the line.
I just want Gruden in Miami. That's all I want. That's all I want. But we appreciate your time, Bolt. Have a good Thanksgiving break, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
All right, fellas. Good luck in Vegas.
Thanks, brother. Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll get to some of the miscellaneous stories that we can get to before we get out of here, plus your text messages. Text in 661-842-2000. This is your last chance to talk to us before we get out of here for the week. We will be dark tomorrow and Monday. And then myself and 24KG will be hosting the show on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week before we get you guys out to Thanksgiving. This is the Early Bird Special right here at ESPN Bakersfield. The obligatory Elvis.
We had 2 messages that I want to get to before we wrap up the show. The first one says, "Do I roll with Woody, Marks, or Swift?"
I like Woody Marks, but Swift will definitely be getting the majority of the touches if he's fully healthy with Chicago. Yeah.
Stay away from Thursday games.
Well, and not to mention this Buffalo defense, if there's one thing that's at least somewhat decent about them, it's the front 7 or the front 4 specifically. Ed
Unless they're playing
Oliver,
Nate
Joey
Chain.
Bosa. Yeah, that's true too. But I just don't think Woody Marks necessarily has the it factor to be able to get around all those guys. So I'd probably go with Swift, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. I just don't like the Thursday night games unless you're kind of a must start.
Yeah.
Which I'm not even starting Josh Allen. So
This is
I
true.
would stay away from that one. The last one says, "Did you guys catch the new episode of Welcome to Derry? And what did you think?"
I did. And I love this show. I genuinely do. This is probably the best show I've seen on HBO since Game of Thrones. But that scene with the girl and the slug eye and the dude, that I cringed so bad. Like when I tell you, when I watch something, I need to start just doing a react channel or something. I really do. Cause I'm one of those weirdos that I'll just talk and I'll react to it in real time if someone's there with me or not. I really don't care. But I'm just sitting there and be like, oh no, honey, no, not the saw blade. No, why are you going for a saw blade? Like that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like I get she's hurting, but like the first place you run into when you're hurting like that is the wood shop. I would assume you would run to the nurse's office first, but
it is definitely getting the season ready.
Yeah,
because I mean we all know that the kids aren't gonna survive.
No, and I really like how they're incorporating. His name escapes me, but it's the army guy with the Shining or the Shining.
Yeah,
we don't want to get sued.
The main guy, yeah,
the main guy, but how he is now. I want to see how he ends up at the hotel. I need to know how he ends up with the hotel and how all of that starts, because I would love to see a spin-off series of that as well.
And plus we finally get to see Pennywise, and not only the story you're talking about, but the dad. Now he's getting involved. The mom is getting involved, and now it's kind of starting to put the pieces in of what this was going to go into.
And it's also diving into just the town itself and its acceptance of it, right? Like it's weird that all of these people just kind of accept that these kids disappear. And they never really explain that in the book or well, I guess they do explain it a little bit in the book, but it is never really flushed out in the movies why everybody just turns a blind eye to Georgie coming up missing. And they all just say, he's gone. There's nowhere to find him. It's like, no, I know a lot of parents that would probably be freaking out just as much as Georgie's brother is. That doesn't get flushed out very much.
Yeah, and this last episode definitely broke down. Okay, how did this get all started?
Origins of Pennywise as the giant moose monster, that was really cool. That was, I'm telling you, if you're a fan of Stephen King at all, you need to be watching this show.
It is definitely the best show out right now.
Yeah, I have to say it is one of the best things on streaming. It comes out on Sundays now at 6 p.m., which sucks because it's right in the middle of Sunday Night Football, which means I have to wait until after Sunday Night Football to watch it. But it is what it is.
Well, that also brings up, we're a little less than a week away now from Stranger Things returning.
You mean the 7 movies we're about to get?
Yeah, which I'm pumped. My son is grown out of it because we watched it when he was younger, and like the kids, he's all grown up and thinks he's big stuff, and he's like, nah,
Stranger Things isn't scary.
It's not. He's not as interested. Now, I'm wondering, one is how dark this season or the finale is going to be.
Very curious about that as well.
And two, how much of it is going to be CGI compared to acting.
Well, I would assume that this, again, I know nothing of where this is going. All I know is what the trailer has showed, which admittedly not a whole ton. I assume though we're getting a time skip where this is going to be a couple years past what we saw them, because you're right.
They did last time.
Yeah, because you can't keep telling me that Millie Bobby Brown is a 15-year-old girl who's clearly not. Like, we've moved past that era of television. That doesn't happen anymore. So it is going to be an interesting story to see. I'm very curious how this entire thing is going to come to a head, especially with Vecna. And is Vecna actually the big bad of the whole thing? Because there's a lot of things out there that say he's not, and there's going to be something even bigger on the other end of that season. Because again, this is going to be broken up into 2 separate parts too. So you're going to get the first, 4 episodes, I believe, here starting next week into, I think, the next month. And then we have to wait until 2026, I believe, sometime.
The New Year's Eve.
Yeah, around that area to get the second part of it. And I like you, Sparky. That's one of those shows as well where it's kind of like Game of Thrones, where anything can happen and anyone can go at any point in time, I guess, except the kids. But I'm not ready to see some of the deaths that are going to be coming at the end of this season.
And is it just me, or my family laughs at me, but the kid Dustin, from Stranger Things,
love that guy.
He resembles the eye lady from Derry, the little kid. She reminds me so much of Dustin. I'm like, do they have to be related of some
I'd
sort?
have to look that
but
up.
If you watch Derry next time, the little girl that had her eyes all jacked
the
up,
one
she reminds me of Dustin so much. I don't know if it's her acting or maybe it's her hair, but just watch it next time.
I'm gonna have to look.
And I'm like,
that.
dude, it's got to be Dustin's sister almost. But
Right.
I'm looking forward to this Stranger Things. There is a ton of movies that are still yet to come out here in the next couple of weeks that I'm looking forward to. I've missed out on the last 3 or 4 big movie releases. And now that Fantastic Four is out on Disney, we're going to have to watch that because we left the wife at the theater last time. She didn't get to go with us when we went to LA. So she still hasn't seen Fantastic Four. Plus we got a PLE next weekend. I mean, there's so much going on. And like we had said in the beginning of the show, I mean, we had our guy from Comic-Con that's going to be here in town this weekend at the Kern County Fairgrounds. Tickets are on sale now. I believe he said $12 at the door.
I believe you're correct on that one.
And I'll be playing some cornhole out at Camp Okeechee this Saturday. I believe signups are at 10.
Where is that?
It is Camp Okeechee.
Yeah.
It's way out by the old soccer fields out by the canyon.
Okay. Gotcha. Makes
sense. A local nonprofit took over the property. We used to get field trips over there in junior high, and it closed off for a long time. It is a beautiful property. A lot of us grew up out there, and a local nonprofit, White Wolf Wellness, I believe that's what it's called, is they've taken over, and they do local events to try to raise money to clean up the whole area.
Nice. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I've never been, so that's news to me. I'll have to go check.
And you go the other way when you go on hikes. I always mix them up. It's White Wolf,
Wind Wolves.
So Wind Wolves is that way. The other one, it's almost the same thing. It's beautiful property. You can go out there, go hikes. Sometimes they'll do concerts out there. But yeah, it's beautiful weather out there, especially if you like the cold.
Very cool. All right. No, there's plenty to go on and go check out. Plus the Condors game, obviously this weekend and next weekend. Don't forget Teddy Bear Toss next week. And like we just said, we will be dark tomorrow and Monday. Hope you guys enjoy your weekends. I will be back with our guy 24KG on Tuesday to host the show. Sparky will sit in a little bit on Wednesday, but he is going to take the week off for the Thanksgiving holiday. Well deserved.
My boy is on vacation, so I'm going to enjoy it.
Go get out of town, man. I'm telling you. You don't get a lot of those opportunities anymore. That's why I'm taking my opportunity this weekend, heading out to Viva Las Vegas.
Hopefully you get into the Raider game. If not, go check out the Pinball Hall of Fame.
That is on my list. I'm not going to lie.
It's cheap and you can enjoy it at least a couple hours.
Right. That's what I was thinking. And it's like, it'd be a cool little side quest for me while everybody goes and checks out F1 because
it's going to be packed, bro.
I know. That's the one thing I'm not going to be okay with.
When we were there last weekend, they have suites that are all see-through glass that hang over almost the road. And it's got leather couches. It's all white out like a Diddy party. Oh. And man, it is beautiful. But I'm like, I wonder how much money they had to drop just to get into one of these suites.
Well, that I have no idea. I can tell you the passes for the entire races themselves are ridiculously overpriced.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. So it is what it is. Again, my friends are going to go enjoy themselves, and I hope they do. I'm just not a racing fan like that. I apologize. The closest you're going to get from us is NASCAR. And we've talked to multiple NASCAR racers. Now we got to get we got to get
Harvick will be back on. They had to postpone the final race of the season due to rain, but they are trying to plan on December 20th. So we're hoping to get Harvick back.
Try to get his son on the show too.
Yeah, I'm trying
at the same time. Like, I'd love to have both of them just bounce some questions off them.
And some locals that I've talked to have said, man, this kid can race. It's not just because it's a Harvick, but this kid has had the training, and he said he's going to be up there.
Good. You don't win that first race if you aren't a good racer. Trust me. The way he was, or where he was the majority of the race, just trying to keep himself in it the entire time and just taking advantage of opportunities, that's how he ends up winning. And I love it. I love seeing what the kid can do. We got to get out of here, though. We thank you all for joining us again. Apologies for the stream at the beginning of the show. These things happen sometimes, but I'm glad we were able to get it back up for at least Brian Holt and our guy Bolt Brady. Hopefully they will help you, hopefully Bolt will help you win some money, and hopefully you'll go say hi to Ryan Holt along with your 6 or 7 amount of teddy bears that you'll be throwing at the teddy bear toss next weekend, or go hang out with the princesses this weekend at Princess Night. $90 for a whole pizza party for you and the kids to go hang out with them. And I'm sure the little girls would love that before you get to go watch some hockey. We got to get out of here, though. This has been the Early Bird Special. Here comes the legendary Rich Eisen. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Sparky, let's get out of here.